I don't think we the people or even the politicians are learning from history. You know, coalitions have happened in the past, and the Igbo man has always been the one who loses out of it. I mean, I'm sorry to use the word Igbo, but that's the truth. Okay, all the time the coalition happened, the first coalition actually was between the action group and the NCNC, which eventually failed. You know, Zeke was driven back to the east when he came back to fight with Okpara, and Okpara said, "No, go and fight with your mates in the center." You know, we still have that in the back of our minds. But let's even come for the rest. Go back to come forward. Just you know, some days ago when we were still in primary school, there was a coalition between the Awolowo party and again Nnamdi Azikiwe and the PRP, okay, the Northern People's GNPP and all those Northern people, you know, all those coalitions. But the catch at that point was the bringing in of the PRP guy, which was who eventually, just like he played the same role Kwankwaso is playing right now. Nobody knew whether he was in or he was out. Or he just kept mum, and they kept waiting for him. In fact, they postponed the meeting for a while, you know, waiting for him to come in from Kano. The videos are out there just in case anybody wants to look at it. And then, obviously, at the end of the day, who lost out in that one? It's still the same Nnamdi Azikiwe. Now, why am I saying that? Look, the system have looked at the possibility of Obi coming up, and I agree with some of the analysis so far. They know that this guy, even by their own awardment, that is by their own awarding of votes, they gave him 6 million votes. That means he has 6 million votes in his kitty. So now, why do you want to now, come into a coalition with people who the best of them won only one state? Okay, that is one. Secondly, why do we always want to pander to some, the suggestions made to you? You should be bold enough to stand out, because if you understand what you carry, then you don't have to dance to anybody's bidding. I think Obi is the beautiful bride here. He should be dictating, not joining. He should be dictating, this is the way I want it to go. Because you know, whether you like it or not, you have 6 million votes who you didn't pay cover for, who you did not activate. In fact, right now, it's still as if you are the president, because you go to states, you don't rent any crowd. The place is filled with people. So what are you afraid of? That's one. Two, if I were him, since I've already got myself into this nonsense, coalition, you give your own terms, okay? You dictate what your terms are. And for me, I think the most honest person that he will get to ever be his vice is the same Dati Ahmed. So if he goes to there and say Dati Ahmed Baba should continuously be my vice on this ideal, then I think he will go home free. But if he goes and follows whatever is going on and decide, the worst mistake he will make is to say he will going to be vice to Atiku, because let's face facts, okay? Except some magic happen, they're not done like Atiku. I mean, if you are a northern politician who inherited People's Front from the late Yar Adua, and up to this moment you are only able to win just a locality where you do well, then I don't think you are doing very well. And maybe your time is up. And those of us in theater say what? It's better to bow out when the ovation is loudest. Don't wait for the clapping to go down before you go out. So for me, if I were him, I would have taken a back seat and allowed these people to go forward. If it's actually for the good of the Nigerian people. But right now, I don't think for the good of the Nigerian people. It's how to keep this man called Obi back in his where he's supposed to belong, because he's biting more than he can chew, or that what has been allotted for him. He's trying to take over the dance. He's taking over the market. And so they want to make sure that he's not able to sell. My brother, that is where I